Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Kageyama, and I'd like to welcome everyone here to Be Your Own Hero. I'm a stage 4 prostate, bone, and lung cancer patient, been dealing with cancer/survivor, been dealing with cancer since late 2020, early 2021, doing absolutely fantastic. And I'm so happy to be here. And got a beautiful beach scene in the back, and there's a reason for that because of my guest, who is coming to us from all the way halfway across the world. So I'm really, really, really excited about this. And what I'd like to do at this time is I'd like to introduce my guest, Francesca Lanni, and she is from Malta. And if you could introduce yourself, tell us where Malta is, and because a lot of people, I didn't know where it was. I had to look it up. And please share a little bit about yourself.
Hi, Mark. So, yes, my name is Francesca. I am originally from Italy, actually. But now I've been living in Malta for about 7 years. Used to live in London before. So I've traveled around Europe a bit. Malta is a tiny little island just underneath Italy. It's even considered part of Italy. We speak Italian here. There's lots of Italian culture here. So I didn't move very far from Italy then. So this has become my home now.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And Francesca has an incredible story. And so why don't we get into it and how it all started? So how did you get diagnosed with your cancer, and what type of cancer did you have?
So was 34 at the time. I'm 45 now. I was living in London, and I I felt something on my breast that didn't feel right. I had two little boys then. My younger one was 2 years old. So I went to my doctor, just telling her that, I felt this lump on my breast, that it wasn't normal. But she didn't really take it seriously because she thought, you just finished breastfeeding, you're young, you're healthy, you don't have any family history of cancer. So go home and, just keep it checking on yourself. But I insisted, and I did well because after I insisted, they found out with a biopsy that it was breast cancer.
Let's stop. Let's
So
pause right there
yeah.
and talk about why that what you just did is so important. If something is wrong, you know your body better than anyone. Be insistent. And if you have a doctor that doesn't, you know, says everything is okay and sends you home, what should somebody do at that point?
I just, listened to my body. It didn't feel right for me. She didn't take it seriously. So when I returned to the medical center, I actually wanted to see somebody else. But you find a way. I mean, I insisted seeing somebody else and seeing it immediately. But we know our bodies best. So whatever feels strange, whatever feels abnormal, whatever makes us think that there could be something, it's better to investigate.
Absolutely. And that's great advice for anyone. It's your life. It's not your doctor's life. And the doctor is a person, they're human, and doctors do make mistakes. So if you have something wrong and if you feel something is not right, fight. That's the beginning of the fight for yourself,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely, yes. But some think that, you know, cancer doesn't come to people that are young, that are healthy, that are happy, that don't have family history, but it does. It does. And that was one of the reasons why I had to insist, because they kept telling me, you know, you don't have family history, so don't worry, you're young, you're in your 30s. So this is the advice that I really want to give, because to insist and to get checked.
Absolutely, which is great advice. And always remember that anything to do with your health, take it seriously. And the tendency, especially for men, is to, well, if it's not right in front of me and if it's not hurting, and the doctor says, you know, hey, everything's okay, then, you know, I'll just brush it off. But take your health seriously. We only have one life, and your health is absolutely everything. So what happened once you went back and you got diagnosed? What did they diagnose you with, and what happened from there?
So I was stage 2 breast cancer, and immediately they thought that the protocol was to have surgery first and then start chemotherapy and hormonal therapy. Obviously, all this came with a very big shock that emotionally really hit me. I I always thought really that I was following a healthy lifestyle until then. Obviously, now I have a different idea of what health is, but up to then, I really thought that, you know, I was doing a healthy life. I was having a healthy lifestyle. Obviously, I asked myself millions of times, why did this happen to me? And you never really get an answer from that. But after, you know, the initial breakdown, emotional breakdown, I said, okay, now I'm going to face this. I have 2 young boys. I want to see them grow. I'm going to be strong for myself, for my family, and for my children. So I started all the protocol that was given to me. And I helped myself also. I really think that a big part of my healing came from how I approached the cancer journey. So I did follow the medical advice, but together with that, I changed my lifestyle. The most important thing, I changed my thoughts. I changed my mindset. From being very, very negative, from thinking about the worst scenario all the time, slowly, because it's not easy, I really had to change my thoughts and believe that I could get better and see my children grow.
Let me pause you right there. So what did you do to effect that process? Because this is something that I think a lot of people wrestle with, and most people aren't able to make that change. What did you do?
So I started researching, going on, obviously buying books. I spent hours and hours in the libraries just looking for some kind of information, grasping some useful information that could help me heal. So that was from nutrition. So having a mostly green diet. Fasting also helped me a lot, helped me with the side effect actually of the chemotherapy. Having an approach for exercise that wasn't just, you know, intense cardio like I was used to doing, but a more mindfulness exercises. So I started doing more yoga, meditation, but together with also weightlifting. I felt that, you know, I needed to have a strong body and a strong mind. So the combination of the two helped me a lot. I was taking long walks in parks or near rivers, near lake, near the sea, whatever could, you know, put me in contact with nature. I found it very healing. It was an active meditation for me, just walking in a park. It calmed my thoughts and it brought positive thoughts out. So I was reading books, I was, you know, listening to interviews of, you know, what to do to feel better in a more natural way without, you know, reaching out for medicines, because I've always been really against, you know, medicines. Even when I was, you know, younger, if I had a headache, I would never take a tablet. I would just wait for it to pass. So I tried, you know, to heal myself in a kind way, in a gentle way. And my body was responding well to all this. So I thought that, okay, I'm doing something good for myself. But I met also somebody that was helping me to look at things in a positive way. And that was very, very helpful. It was a kind of a coach that I met that was helping me to process all the situation. And that, you know, helped a lot. So it was a combination of a lot of things that helped me.
So going back to what you had mentioned earlier is changing your thoughts from negative to positive. You have to intentionally do that. So did you do that as a daily ritual? What exactly did you do for that?
Yes, it doesn't come automatic. So
Right, right, right.
it's quite difficult actually, because you have, you know, half of, you know, your mind that brings you down and makes you see the negative, the dark side of life, and the other half that is trying to see things in a positive way. So I wanted that side to be predominant. I was forcing myself to think positive. And how I was doing that, so I woke up in the morning and I started doing meditation to start the day in a way that I was emptying my mind from negative thoughts and bringing in peace in my mind. I was journaling a lot, so writing down positive thoughts and then reading them again and again and again. I was reading a lot of books, and whenever I read something that was very powerful, I was writing it down somewhere else, sticking it on the fridge, you know, on you know, top of my bed, so that, you know, sentence stayed with me. It's work, but you have to, you know, get this information and really memorize it.
You brought up a great point because I've talked about this before on other interviews. We are our own computer programmers. So we are in control of what goes in our mind and what stays in our mind. So if you could talk more about your meditation process, what you did, how long you took each day, and you know, because that is a very important thing.
So every morning, you know, I woke up, I had my glass of water with lemon, and I had it next
That's the
to
same thing
me.
I do.
Yes. And I would say 15, 20 minutes just for myself, because then, you know, the kids woke up, so the family, the house started waking up. So I took those 20 minutes just for myself, first thing in the morning. But then during the day, whenever I had time, and I would find time for that, I would go back to that pause. Maybe I did yoga daily. Again, I would go for walks. I did lots of walks, even when I felt tired, even when the doctors kept telling me, okay, it's chemotherapy is hard on you. Just rest. I didn't take that rest. Even if it was just around the block of the house, I went out every day, even the day after, even the day of chemotherapy, even the day after, because I felt that it was doing good to me. So I was, maybe I just took the excuse to walk to the park and then sit on a bench and just talk to nature. I don't know. I felt it very healing. I felt that somebody was listening to me, and I found it easy to think positive when I was in nature. So that became a daily appointment for me with the park. Alone, sometimes, friend would join, but I didn't mind. It was something that I was doing for myself, and I was quite happy to do that by myself.
That is beautiful. I love that. Absolutely love that. So let's keep walking down your journey. So you were getting your mind right, which very few people do. So many people think a cancer journey is, just going to their doctor, getting treatments, getting chemotherapy, radiation, immunotherapy, whatever the treatment may be. But the most important thing that it starts with exactly what you are doing. It starts up here. Up here is, if you don't have up here right, then everything else doesn't fall into place, right?
Absolutely. It
And
starts all
that's,
in the mind.
yes, yes, absolutely. In fact, I had an hour-long conversation about the mind this morning, and so I'm like still going on that. But getting your mind right for your cancer journey is one of the most important things that a person could do, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. It's
Okay,
if you heal the mind, if you help the mind, the body will follow.
absolutely, absolutely. And this is coming from somebody halfway across the world saying the same thing. And so, I mean, what I've noticed, I've interviewed so many people. It's been a lot of people. Plus, I've talked to, hundreds more people, and the characteristics that I see in successful cancer journeys are so similar, and I'm sure you've seen that too.
Yes. Yes.
So let's keep walking down your journey on your cancer journey. These are great tips for people who, and what is the most important thing is the mind has to believe that there's hope, right?
Yes.
Because without hope, what do we have? We're fighting for nothing. And so people have to believe that they can get better. Otherwise, why? Cancer journey is really, really hard, really, really difficult. And to overcome the cancer, you have to have your mind in the right place.
Yeah, but also because your mind records your thoughts. So if you keep thinking about negative things, then they, I won't say they will happen, but you feel that, you're more towards that direction, a negative direction. If you think about positive things, then you believe in them. And then your approach to what's going on in your life, because it is a difficult moment of your life, you face it in a different way, though.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So what did you do as far as treatments? Did you go through chemo? Did you go through radiation? What did you do
Yes,
there?
I did the surgery first, then I had the chemotherapy, radiation, and then hormonal therapy.
Wow.
So I did
How,
I
ma-
did everything.
how many rounds of chemo and how many rounds of radiation?
Well, I had 6 chemos first time because I had to redo it again. The first time I had 6, and then I had 15 sessions of radiotherapy. But then they found out that the cancer was still there. So I had to start chemotherapy again for other 6 rounds, so a total of 12. So that was quite intense, really. But I always felt that, you know, that what happened to me, there must have been a reason why all this was happening to me. So while I was going through all this, I kept having a thought in my mind that I needed to find a way to give back once everything was going to be over and I was feeling better. I didn't know back then what would that meant really, but I felt that I had to do something different with my life. When I discovered I had cancer, I was working in banking and finance. I was, I know, having a completely different life from the life that I have now. Then cancer happened, and I also, you know, decided that I had to give a meaning to my life. So I didn't feel that that job was, you know, was my job anymore. So I had to just change my life completely also from that point of view.
So that being said, how do you look at cancer as far as affecting your life? It obviously changed it. So how do you look at cancer now?
Well, now that I've, you know, I worked on myself, I see it as a gift. My life changed for the better. I am a better person. People that really know me for a long time, they keep saying, you know, Francesca, you have a light now that you didn't have back then. I appreciate life. This maybe seems a very, you know, simple sentence that we keep hearing, you know, you need to appreciate life. But now I really understand the meaning of it. Every morning I wake up, as I said, I live by the sea. I look at the sea and I'm just thankful for what I have. Take, you know, deep breath. My life has a slower pace and I enjoy every moment. Everything was a rush before, a rush to get, I don't know where I wanted to get. I mean, in a career, in, you know, in your personal life, the things that you want to accumulate in your life that are no longer important for me anymore. So I'm pleased about the person that I've become today.
You know, we didn't plan this question or this answer. And I think my audience knows that you just repeated exactly what I would say.
Okay.
So I am so thrilled to hear that. And it's better coming from you because, you know, instead of coming from me repeating it, coming from you is just so refreshing. And my hat's off to you. Uh, that is absolutely fantastic. I mean, Francesca, why don't you share with us how that feeling of gratitude has changed into what you're doing now?
Well, that brought me to reevaluate my priorities, and I had to shift my focus towards what truly mattered. So, you know, you develop resilience, appreciation for life. And when I said before that I had to give back and help others, I understood what that meant. So once I was over with my treatments and everything, a lot of people thought I was crazy at the time, but I kept going to the hospital. I kept going to help the patients there just as a volunteer. I was just keeping them company while they were doing chemotherapy, as you need to stay in the hospital for many hours while you do chemotherapy. So while I was doing my own chemotherapy, I was seeing lots of lonely people there. And I said, okay, now I'm not working, I have time and I want to do it. I want to help other people. So I was just keeping them company and sharing my story, sharing what worked with me, what made me feel better. And I saw that, this was appreciated by the people there, and they started calling me. And it was the Pink October month, so they called me to share my story in schools, talk about what helped, give a positive message also, obviously, to people that were going through cancer, that you can heal, you can have a life after, you can have a better life after. So I wanted to inspire other people also to get checked, early detection, and have a positive approach, even if it's the difficult phase of your life. But you need to be positive. That's going to help you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Francesca, would you like to come back and shoot a part 2 with me? Because there's so much more we can discuss and I would like to discuss with you.
Yes, of course. Thank
Okay,
you, Mark, for
that's
asking me
great.
this.
No, because there's I have some big questions that
Okay.
I would like to hear your answers on. But we're running out of time here. But I do have a couple of final questions. Actually, three final questions. What would be the final thought for today that you would like to leave our audience with?
um, that it's not easy to find strength in the cancer journey, but with a positive mindset that then brings, also a holistic approach to the way you face this cancer journey, you can feel better. You can feel better physically, you can feel better mentally. So to believe that you can heal, you need to believe in this. And so people that are going through this, they really need to work on their mindset, because it will bring benefits all over their body.
Beautiful. Second question. If you had one wish, could be anything, what would it be?
Um, I would like to do more to help who's going through cancer. I'm trying to do my part, but I'd like to do more, because there's so much need for this.
That is an awesome answer. And my final question is, how would you help make the world a better place?
I think kindness, and I call it a smiley approach to others, can make a world a better place. Because if you start the day with a smile and offering a smile, offering a kind gesture to somebody, and if we all do that, it becomes a domino effect, and the world can be a better place.
That is just awesome answers. I really appreciate you. thank you so much for your time, and be on the lookout. We're gonna shoot a part 2 with Francesca. And at this time, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us here at To Be Your Own Hero. Please like, make a comment in the comment section, and subscribe to the channel To Be Your Own Hero. I really appreciate all of you, and I hope everyone has a beautiful week. Thank you once again,
Thank you, Mark.
Francesca, for just an incredible interview. And I hope everyone has a chance to join us next week for another interview on To Be Your Own Hero. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.